In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create a template or a sales page like template for your WordPress blog while maintaining all of the elements of your blog. That being your header, your footer, navigation links, sidebar if you desire, all kinds of elements of your blog that you want to maintain, but you want to give it more of a sales page look, similar to this one right here. And might even look familiar to some of you. All the links are still intact. And in this case, we do not have a sidebar. We've eliminated that, and I'll show you how we did that. So you can also have the sidebar intact, but it would make this page look a little more scrunchy as far as I'm concerned. So we're going to get rid of the sidebar and basically just keep the header and footer of the blog, and then take the guts of a sales page and put in the middle there as our mini site page within the blog. So how are we going to do that? Pretty darn simple. It's just a little bit of extra coding, and don't let that freak you out. If you don't know what I'm doing or how anything about PHP coding works, don't worry about it. Just copy what I do and you'll be just fine. Now, as far as the coding, this is how easy it is. This is it. This right here tells WordPress that this is a template and that it's a PHP page. So whatever work we do here, we're going to have to say this as a PHP extension. Don't sweat it. I'll show you what I'm talking about in a second. And this here just says, hey, bring in the header. This here says, hey, bring in the footer. So if you don't want the header, don't put this in there. It'll look a little funny, but this right here says, hey, page, don't put in the sidebar. I want this full width. And I'll show you this in a second. This goes into the themes cascading style sheet page. So some themes this is not required, some themes it is required. I find though that I just rather get in the habit of putting this in all the themes, and if it's not required, it does not screw anything up. If it is required and this isn't in there, then it'll look funky. So I figured go ahead and put it in there. It's not going to hurt it if it's not needed. And then this right here is where the content goes, and this here just the closing div tag for this guy here. So let's get to work and put this together. Now first off, let's find us a sales page. I'm going to borrow this one here from a product that's on the market right now. Now one thing that we're going to need is just the guts. We don't need the header image, we don't need the footer image, but we need everything in between. Now I want to go ahead and mention this too, that once we get this in there, there's going to be some items of this sales page that are going to be affected by the styling of that particular theme. Maybe. In most cases it might be. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it jives just right nicely with your sales page you're putting in there. But what I've done, I've found that if the text here is going to look all funky, spoiler alert, I've already tested it. If it's going to look all funky, I just don't put the text in there. Instead, I put an image. For example, this one here is an image. See, that's not text, that's an image. Likewise with this. So this way, I don't have to worry about fishing through all that CSS coding of this particular theme. I slap the image in there, we're good to go. I can put this on any other theme and not have to worry about going into that CSS of that theme either, and it'll work just fine and dandy because it's being called in from the server. It's an image. And whenever you get the other page in here and you see how the text is all scrunched together, you'll see what I mean. And if that's affecting your particular template as well, now you know a quick resolution. Of course, if you know a lot about CSS, then you can go right into the CSS and do that as well. And we're going to go there in just a second, because this code right here is telling the theme that you want the full page, the full width. This is being called from the CSS, and this is a CSS code that we put in there. And let me go here to our dashboard, come on down here to appearance, going to the editor of the theme. And of course this is theme specific, so whatever work we do on this particular theme, if you change themes like the seasons or whatever reason you might have behind changing your theme, then whatever we do now would have to be done with that new theme as well. So some folks have a gazillion themes in their blog, so again I just want to point that out to those particular folks. So what we want to do now is come on down here under the CSS. It'll be style.css, because sometimes there may be other type CSSs like here under IE.css. Might find the need to make adjustments there as well. But in this particular theme, it's nice and compartmentalized. You've got different sections like for the body, header, container, navigation, and so on. So whenever that's the case, I find one that says something referencing content, because not all CSS are like this. Some cascading style sheets are all just lumped together on one page, and there's no defined areas for this particular part of your theme. But in this case, there is. So right at the end is where I put that code for the full width. Now this code, which is right here, is a lot of this stuff here is just placeholders. It's not needed. So for example, the background color is white. This is a hexadecimal code for white. You can change this if you want. The width, I've got it at 1,000 pixels, but I've got this at 95%. Again, you can change this depending upon your particular theme and your page and how you want it to look. A lot of this stuff here is just placeholders. You can adjust this however you want if you want to copy this exactly. But this is what you need to, and you can pause the video just like you did with the template code. You can just pause the video, copy this down. Frankly, hey, this works. Why not just use this? Why reinvent the wheel if you don't have to? And then we just slap that puppy right in there, and then you come on down here and update file. Otherwise, whatever changes you put in here are not going to take. Okay, so we got the full width in there. Now then, we want to get our content in here. So let's head on back over to our sales page, go to the source code, and we don't want the meta tags, all this stuff up here. Actually, all we want is the contents between the body tags. This is the opening body tag, the closing body tags down here at the bottom with the slash right before the body. So I'm going to put my cursor blinky thingy right there at the end of this closing div tag, and right up here at the top find the opening div tag related to that one right here. So I hold my shift key down before I do anything and then click right there, and that selects everything in between there and the end of the closing div tag. Right click, left click on copy, come on over here to this template, and again you can pause the video, copy this down, and just know again you can make any changes in here you want. If you don't want the header, if you want additional coding in here, feel free, go crazy. Now then, I'm just going to paste over this, and there we go. Now then, we want to get rid of the images, the footer image and the header image. We can leave them in there, but it's going to look really funny. And then we're going to save this as a PHP file. So navigate to wherever you want to save it. Right now it's going to save it as a text document. We don't want that. Oh, I forgot something. I forgot to name the template. But we're going to go ahead and name this right quick. Sales page.php. Very important. You got to have the .php in there. And very important, you got to save as type all files. Otherwise, it'll be .php.txt. That won't work. So click on save, and this is what I did not change. I mean, this is not that mandatory, but it will be helpful to know what this is. So in our case, for this example, we're going to know that our sales page is named page name here. This is the template. So we'll just leave that as such. Come on back here. We need to create a page now. So go to add new, and we want to create a page. Let's call this one test sales, and this is the name that's going to appear on the navigation link right here. So let's test, and all this is blank. All we're going to do now is basically we just give it a name, come on down here to the attributes column and select the template that we just created. Ours is going to be the one with the funky name. Oh, we need to refresh. No, because we didn't upload it yet. Cart before the horse and all that stuff. So I'm going to open up my FTP client, because you can do it with FTP, you can do it with cPanel, you can do it with Magic, but since Magic rarely works for me, I'm going to do it with the FTP client. So you want to, first off, there's our page we got to get over here. First off, you got to navigate to wherever your blog is, and we've got it in the test directory. Now you got to navigate to wherever the theme is. That's going to be in the WP-content folder. Then open up themes, then open up the theme in question. Now we want to upload the PHP template we just created. And done. And now we'll refresh, and that sales page should be, actually it's called page name here because somebody didn't change the name. And then we come on up here and publish. Whoops. The name went away. Let's try this again, shall we? Give it a name. Double check that we've got the name in here, which we didn't. Now then, we have the name. I'm going to call it Test Sales. Now it looks pretty. Now then, we're going to go to Publish. Again, nothing in here, just the name and then selecting the template. Now then, we'll go back to our blog, refresh. Should have Test Sales here. Click on that to open up our page. And here's the CSS screwing around that I was talking about. Again, you can go into the CSS code and tweak that until this works just fine for you, or you can do as I did, the easy, faster way for me, and that's just make this as an image. And the rest of this is looking hunky-dory, just as it does on the sales page. Again, all the links are working as they are on the sales page, so if your links here are working, then they'll work on that sales page template. That's it. That is how you can create a mini site page or a template sales page for your WordPress blog while maintaining all the cool elements of your blog at the same time. That's going to bring us to the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching. You have a great day.